Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lara and today we're doing another pick a card tarot and oracle reading, and this time we're asking the question, what is your reputation? So it's very straightforward. Just set the intention that you want to know what your reputation is for the highest level of truth, honesty, accuracy, and anything you need to know to support your greatest and highest good. That is the intention of this reading, and so it is. Take a look at all three groups on screen and select whichever one you feel most drawn to. We have group number 1 with the Dalmatian jasper and this dried lemon. We have group number 2 with the selenite stick and this chrysanthemum. And we have group number 3 with various crystals. I think we have afghanite, lapis lazuli, and a quartz stone. Once you've selected your group, you can watch through or you can skip ahead to your reading using the timestamps. I just want to take a moment to express my gratitude for everybody who has been subscribed to this channel for all these years and everyone who comments, and just I know all, basically if you've commented multiple times on videos, I know your username and I think about you often. I just want you to know that. And anybody who's ever gotten life coaching with me or many personal readings with me, I also want to say I think about you on a daily basis. And there's a really good chance that I send you good energy every single day. So I definitely do spell work and set manifestations for my subscribers and clients to just be extremely blessed and lucky. So if you want to be a part of that good energy, make sure you're subscribed or work with me one-on-one, okay? Anyways, if you're still picking your group, pause now. Otherwise, let's begin. Hello, group number 1, and welcome. Let's see what your current reputation is. So you have the mask, and it's coming out perfectly upright, perfectly in its light attribute. And we see here half of this card is rainbows and sunshine, a lot of color, and the other half is completely dark. So right off the bat, I'm picking up this sense that there is a lot that is mysterious about you. I feel like you're the type of person who does not just let anybody into your life. You may sit back and observe when you first meet people, when you first meet strangers. You might not give a lot of information away about yourself, and people are very drawn into you for that reason, very intrigued by you. There's this sense that there's a lot of depth beneath the surface. When people meet you, there's this sense of curiosity. The mask is also known as the persona, the performance, or the reveal. We often think of a mask as something that conceals our identity, yet contemplate the possibility that the mask permits our true identity to be revealed. I want to pause and say, whatever your aesthetic is, if you're somebody who wears makeup or wigs or a certain aesthetic fashion-wise, a lot of people are drawn in towards that aesthetic, and it kind of makes you very unique and glowing in your own way. The fact that you are not afraid to be yourself draws people in, and a lot of people are intrigued by this sort of persona that you give off. Now, this is both a good thing. It can also be annoying at times. You may find that occasionally, I don't know, maybe people just know you as something like, oh yeah, that's group number 1, the surfer chick, or that is the tattooed bro, So a lot of people are intrigued by your aesthetic, intrigued by the way that you present yourself, or it could even be your job. If you have a very unique career or there's something unique about you, you may feel people really, really attracted to you for that particular thing. But there's this question of, is this person going to get to know me beneath the surface? And I think some feedback that you might receive from a lot of people is that they weren't expecting you to be as deep or wise or intelligent as you are, which I know sounds like a backhanded compliment, but the only reason for that is because there's something about the way you label yourself or the way that you present yourself that like I said, it's people are automatically extremely intrigued by you, and that sort of light blinds them a little bit at first. And then when they find out there's even more depth beneath the surface, it's just very shocking, because I think a lot of people are kind of used to one or the other, like somebody's really hot, really attractive, but maybe they're not the brightest. Or somebody has a great personality, very funny, charming, but maybe physically not attractive via society standards. So when they find out that you kind of possess both of these things, like you are interesting, you are on the surface very beautiful, but then there's also a personality depth to match that, people get a little bit starstruck, it seems. And you might be one of those people, group number 1, where you're actually so eligible. So what's the word I'm looking for? You are such a catch that I feel like occasionally people may be afraid to even approach you in the first place. You know what I mean? Something that you may find is on days where you actually don't put an effort at all into your appearance, maybe you're just more casual, comfy, cozy, and you feel not as like glowing and magnetic as you normally are, you might find that people approach you more on those days as opposed to when you're your normal self and you're feeling good about yourself, which seems very backwards. But the reason for that is because people are a little bit intimidated by your persona and the light that you give off. And for that reason, you may be somebody who has a lot of fans, a lot of people who are intrigued by you from a distance, wondering what it's like to get closer to you, but not taking that leap of faith to actually make a move towards you. Okay, a lot of people who select the group number 1, I feel like you could be in a position in life where you have a following or an audience, or even if you're just generally someone who is unique and a bit on the popular side, it feels like there's a lot of people who are drawn into the image that you present to the world, or drawn into your work that you present to the world, but they don't know you beyond that in a deeper way. Only a few people know you beyond that in a deeper way. And oftentimes, at first, they're very pleasantly surprised to get to know that there's so much more depth beyond what you present. Okay. But to the average person, they are drawn into your light, but you're kind of a mystery at the same time. Who you are beyond that persona or the label or the aesthetic is very much a mystery to many, many people, which actually makes you more intriguing. So let's see. The mask gives you voice to that which was previously rejected. When this card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of your life. You are in the realm of theater, so anything is possible. Speak with the other's voice, embody the other's limbs. I feel like a lot of you guys growing up in childhood, you may have been a little neglected, or maybe you came from a really big family or something like that. Or maybe even just like in school, not being the most center of attention person, maybe a bit of a wallflower or just quiet. And I feel like that created this sort of internal desire within you to be sort of a performer or some sort of leader, somebody who has something to say, something important to say. I feel like a lot of you guys were born to be like on stage in some way, whether that is as an actor, a musician, an artist, a public speaker, an author, an influencer, something of that nature, even a teacher. It's like I'm getting this destiny almost for your work and your personality to influence a lot of people. And so with that, you may have this reputation of being very well known by many people, but at the same time, not really known by many people, because they only know your stage name, your stage essence. There's only a very few amount of people who get to see the full depth of who you are. You are taking part in the ritual of expanding the self. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks too. No one is sure who is who. It's likely you've become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception-bending time. Trust it. And so this is showing up in the complete light attribute, which reveals what has been suppressed. I feel like you're the type of person, you have a reputation for always speaking your mind. It's like you'd rather be, as Kurt Cobain said, hated for who you are than loved for what you're not. You know, I think you're the type of person, you know, I hear stories all the time about people who are like in the closet about something about their life, whether that's their sexuality, their politics, whatever, to certain family members. I just never really understood. Like, that's something I can sympathize with, but I can't empathize with. You know, I feel like you guys might be kind of on the same boat here, where it's like you're always going to advocate for yourself and what you believe to be true and speak up about things. So you have this reputation of authenticity. People know that you're a truthful and authentic person. And it's funny because although you might be a little bit more private when it comes to the deeper workings of your life, people tend to trust what you're saying because there's like this sort of outspoken nature that you have that's, I don't know, it's like positive outspoken nature. You're always going to call out the BS and just be yourself, even if people hate you for that. We have strength in reverse, temperance in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There's this sense that you did not have it easy in life. People kind of pick up this energy from you that you may have a history of trauma, difficulty, poverty, sort of like clawing your way tooth and nail out of the circumstances in which you were dealt in life, like sort of a fighter spirit in a sense. People really pick up on that from you. We have justice upright. Yeah, like people trust that you're going to be putting in honest effort and putting in integrity towards everything that you do, and you're not going to take actions that are immoral or that you don't stand for. So there's like a quality, high integrity energy you give off. 4 of Pentacles upright, 7 of Pentacles in reverse. I am wondering if any of you guys struggle financially, or if you're just somebody who really is thoughtful and considerate when it comes to how much money and energy you expend. You're definitely not wasteful. I can tell you that. Maybe you have a reputation of being frugal or a reputation of saying no, either to like plans out or things that require a lot of money. It's like you're more on the conservative side when it comes to expenditures. And this could be because you're sort of saving for something big for yourself in particular. There's this, I don't know why, this sense of being underpaid or under-recognized. People may say group number 1 deserves so much more money or so much more success because what they're offering is very high quality and they have a great personality and all of that. So there's this reputation here of being sort of underrated. You know, like how sometimes in cities there's like these underground restaurants, like these spots that a lot of people don't know of, but they have the best food in the whole city. People kind of view you like that in a sense, where it's like, I can't believe group number 1 is not as successful or prosperous, abundant. Like it's mind-boggling to people. Or like, let's just say you are such a good person and you're beautiful. this and that. People can't believe that you're single. They can't believe that anyone would treat you horribly. Or like if your work that you offer is very valuable to the world, people can't believe that it wouldn't be like the biggest business, the biggest spot, the biggest, I don't know what you do. Like people can't believe that. People they're shocked when they see how much value you offer versus what you receive in return. It's very mind-boggling to people. Is there anything else on that you should know? There's this sense of being underrated. Spirit, is there any advice for group number 1 when it comes to that underrated sort of vibe they give off? 8 of Swords in reverse. Know your worth. The Moon upright. We have the Queen of Swords and the Lovers. Okay, you guys have to be very picky choosy when it comes to who you give your time, energy, and effort to. All right, that's going to be one of your biggest life lessons, is discernment. Understanding your worth and having confidence is going to be extremely, extremely important for you, group number 1, because when you don't have that confidence, you're going to settle for relationships or jobs or income levels, situations where it's like you're much more valuable, but you're putting yourself in a position to be undervalued, underrated. Put yourself into environments where you'll be more highly rated, highly appreciated. Know your worth, and don't stay long in these relationships or environments that make you feel confused as to why you haven't manifested the things that you inherently know that you're deserving of within yourself. That is your advice. You know, if you selected group number 1, it feels like you were born to be on stage or some sort of leader. And I'm definitely picking up physically you're stunning, but also internally you're stunning as well. We're getting very hardworking vibes from you as well, high integrity. And it's like just this overall message of know your worth and expect that to be returned to you, you know. Your reputation is a very positive one. It's mysterious. People definitely want to know more about you. You know, you kind of give off Keanu Reeves vibes. This is so random, but like Keanu Reeves is somebody who's very, very talented at what he does as an actor, but more on the introverted side, kind of a little bit of a mystery, that like that sort of energy, you know, but intriguing people, pulling so many people in for the kindness, the character, the integrity, the humbleness, you know. You kind of give off similar energy where it's like you're low-key quite masterful at many of the things that you do in life. You're beautiful, but you're very humble and private. So people are extremely intrigued by you. And like I said, there's this sense of like, know your worth and understand you deserve the best. So that's your reputation, okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you've not already. Doing those 3 things are the best way to boost this channel, boost this video, and have other people see it. So just spam the comments if you want to help me out. That's like the best thing you can do, for real. You can also help out the channel by leaving a donation. All of these things are just so appreciated, and I just want to say thank you for everyone who subscribed, everyone who still watches these videos. You guys are amazing, okay? If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link is down below, as well as everything else I offer. Just check out all the links. I don't feel like going off on a spiel. All right, thank you guys. Bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome. Let's see what your reputation is. So, you have the Village, and this card is coming out perfectly upright, perfectly in its light attributes. Very, very beautiful. There's something here about community, family, everybody feeling like you are just, there's a comfortable energy you give off. People trust you. you may have a lot of people connected to you as well. This is also known as the hometown, the family, and the tribe. The village presents us with a conundrum. On one hand, it's the place that feels most like home, the place to which you can always return. Nostalgia and comfort draw us back. On the other hand, it's the very place you must leave in order to grow. Around the village, an unspoken boundary exists, one most villagers do not want you to cross. Though some support your leaving, still you hear whispers of doubt as you venture beyond its borders, leaving them behind. The energy of the village is present anytime we feel restricted by a certain group, community, family, place, or ideology. I want to pause and say, I wonder if any of you guys feel like the black sheep of your family, your community, or there's just something about you where it's like where you grew up, your hometown, your family, whatever, you are very much not like the rest. And I'm specifically getting this message of you may have been a lot less sheltered than a lot of your family members or where you grew up. Like maybe you went off and got educated or traveled the world or just spoke to many people from different backgrounds, educated yourself, read books, just really invested in your own mind and your own well-being. And I am wondering if those people who did not do the same, I'm wondering if you have a little bit of a reputation of being a rebel with them, or somebody who challenges the norms and, all that. It may have served us in the past, yet staying within its parameters will never satiate our thirst for life. Thank the village for all it has provided, knowing you will someday return. For now, the world awaits. So the light attributes of this, which is a part of your reputation, is intimate, rooted, intergenerational, and communal. So this is the funny thing, okay? I feel like there is definitely people from your background. I don't know, maybe some people who select group number 2 escaped a certain cult or religion or very closed-minded community, it feels like. And you're the villain in that community's stories. Or like, let's just say it's not that dramatic. Maybe it's just you have a lot of differences from your family, for example, and you're not necessarily the villain, but you're definitely like the odd duck, so there's that reputation. However, the funny thing is, when it comes to people outside of that sort of place that you come from, people view you as this very home-like, comfortable energy. It's almost like you don't want to sound ungrateful because maybe your family, maybe your hometown growing up, was fine. You may say to yourself, other people had it worse. But there's something here, if you select group number 2, that feels like maybe you never really felt like you had that family or that support, that emotional sort of like being accepted for who you are, right? And so I do feel that a lot of you may have grown up and it became your mission to sort of make sure that everybody you encounter and interact with feels loved and feels like family. And it feels like you've created your own chosen family. And even with just strangers you meet and talk to, new acquaintances, new friends, they feel very loved and accepted by you. Like they don't feel judged at all. It's almost like you became an adult that radiates everything that you wanted when you were a child, someone to just accept you for who you are. Also, group number 2, a lot of you guys are keepers of secrets. Okay, I feel like people feel very comfortable approaching you with some very intimate life details, crazy secrets. Like you may know people who I don't know, just tell you their deepest traumas. Somebody watching, people who've murdered people, done crazy things, and you're very non-judgmental, extremely non-judgmental. You're not a doormat either, but it's people feel very comfortable around you. You created that safe space for so many people, And so that's the ironic thing. It's like the very thing that you lacked, you created in abundance, not only for yourself, but also other people. And so a lot of people do view you as this like sort of community glue, you know, this social glue that holds people together. And, you know, many people feel very close to you, group number 2. You might not feel close to them sometimes, but like they feel close to you. I feel like for a lot of you, you may be somebody's first friend, or like the first person who they felt unconditionally loved by, or the first person they told this deep, dark secret to. You know, you're that person for many people. And, or like the first person who made them feel seen and heard and accepted. So it's like your reputation is a really good one for most people. But then, you know, you may also be like the villain in a certain community's story, or the odd duck out, the black sheep, you know. So kind of dual reputation going on here. We have the High Priestess. A lot of you guys may have a very open third eye. 5 of Wands, yeah, arguing with family, hometown. People may view you as argumentative because you're not argumentative. It feels like you just challenge belief systems that are rooted in dogmatic hatred and judgment. You know, like if somebody says something that's ignorant and prejudiced for no reason, you're not just going to keep your mouth shut. You're going to be like, well, why do you feel that way? You know, and maybe countering their points. So you may have the reputation of being quote unquote argumentative, but you're really not, is basically what it comes down to. 7 of Wands in reverse. Yeah. There may have been instances in your life where you had to protect your peace and walk away from individuals. And it's like you have to be okay and being the villain in those people's stories because you chose your peace. You chose to walk away. Some of you guys have experience with narcissists or people, like literally people who you had to set really strong boundaries with and go no contact or walk away from. And in doing so, those people may have spread nasty rumors about you or like made you the villain, and you've come to terms with that. You've become peaceful with that, is what it feels like, because your peace is worth so much more than just putting up with that nonsense, you know. We have the 4 of Pentacles upright, 10 of Wands in reverse, and the Knight of Cups upright. You may have a little bit of a reputation for being a romantic. Like I said, just being somebody who's very loving, very giving, but also very busy, okay? With 10 of Wands in reverse. You may have a lot of plans or work very hard. There could be a lot of friends connected to you who only really see you every couple of months. Or maybe you're really bad at texting back sometimes. There's something like that coming through. It's not a bad thing, you know. It's just like you might be somebody who prioritizes the present moment and the connections that are right in front of you, you know, silencing your phone, putting it on do not disturb, and really giving the present moment your full attention. So yeah, this is beautiful. You guys are very beautiful souls, is what it feels like. And even with the High Priestess, I'm just imagining like confessions, like people coming to you for confessions. I don't feel like a lot of you guys are religious. I feel like a lot of you may have actually grown up religious, but are now spiritual, not religious, okay? And it's funny because it's like a lot of you have this sort of spiritual leadership quality, and it's like people do come to you for like confession time, you know? I also feel like you may notice people coming to you and just telling you what their dreams and aspirations are. There's this weird sense where people just assume that you're sort of like closer to the divine, or like, I don't know, people may treat you like a priestess in that regard. Even if you're like really into that stuff, like me, like you're a tarot reader, you do whatever, even if people don't know that about you, they may have a tendency, like even strangers that you just met, to just sort of meet you and just immediately accidentally start like trauma dumping on you. Like, here's everything going on wrong in my life. Here's all my hopes, dreams, aspirations. And you're just like, girl, I just met you, you know? You may have that experience quite a bit, which is yet another reason why it's so important for you to protect your peace. Okay. Group number 2, it's going to be very important for you to do energetic cleansing every single day. Having some sort of spiritual routine and ritual to just cleanse your energy, stay solid, stable, and all of that. And yeah, very beautiful reputation. I'm also getting the message, people know that you're a fighter. They know that you are a warrior, you know, with the 10 of Wands in reverse. I'm getting this vibe. People love you, group number 2, and they just want to make your life easier, ease your burdens, because they see how much you carry. They see how good your heart is. They see how much good you do for the people around you, how much good you do for them. And so a lot of people may feel drawn to just spoiling you or helping out in some way, wanting to be a part of your life and making your life easier. You know, people just inherently feel that way, like they want to protect you. They want to make life easier for you. They want to support you however they can. And that's because of your good heart, okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me. Definitely like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you've not already. Doing those 3 things are the best way to support the channel, especially spamming the comment section. Like, for real, leave like 100 comments. It really does boost these videos. Leave your positive energy down below. And if you want to work with me in any way, all of my links are down below. I don't feel like going off on a tangent about all of them, so just check it out, okay? Just to read up on what I offer. Thank you guys. Bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome. Let's see what your reputation is. You have the empty room completely upright. That's so funny. All 3 groups, their cards came out completely upright. You know, this is one of those decks where I read reversal, sideways, you know, however it wants to come out, that's how it comes out. And it does change the meaning of these messages. So let's take a look in the booklet and read what this empty room card is all about and why this is representing the archetype of your reputation. So the empty room is also known as the vortex, the abyss, the nothing. The empty room haunts us all. It is the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack, of wanting, of the craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. We too often attempt to remedy this discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. I want to pause and say, group number 3, have you had experiences with people becoming obsessed with you? Like people really becoming obsessed with you? Leave a comment down below. I just have a feeling that you may have that experience. I'm picking up on something really spiritually significant about your aura. A lot of you guys may resonate with the stars, the sky, feeling sort of like your soul originated somewhere else, somewhere otherworldly, and coming here to do really big things in this lifetime and for the planet. A lot of you guys, I feel, could be powerful healers or spiritualists of some sort. There's something in your aura and your energy that really, I don't know, it's like when people interact with you, they may like have a lot of strange experiences around the time they meet you. You know, even if they're a complete atheist, like completely not believing in anything like that, it's like they start talking to you, suddenly they're having like telepathic moments with you, or a lot of paranormal activity, synchronicities start increasing like crazy. There's something about your aura. Like, I'm looking at this empty room card and it doesn't feel like, oh, no, there's nothing going on here. Like, no, it feels like like a black hole almost, how magnetic and mysterious that is. And if you ever look at a picture of a black hole, it kind of looks like a pupil, like the pupil of an eye. And I'm even like getting this visual in my head of like looking up at the stars and seeing a black hole with like the little galaxy swirling into it. And then, you know, zooming out and it's actually someone's eye, and like just the really trippy thoughts start coming to mind when I connect with your energy. So I don't know what you people did in your lifetime thus far, but group number 3, a lot of you feel to be people who have either done some crazy deep meditations, crazy awakenings, yoga practices, near-death experiences. There's something here where you sort of cracked open the veil between life and death, and your energy feels to be quite on the shamanic side. So I feel like when you meet people, they just you stir something up within them. You trigger a lot of people's spiritual awakenings, and you may actually meet people when they're at very pivotal, life-changing moments of their life, because your vibration, your aura and energy seems to exist on this bridge between physical and spirit, life and death. A lot of you guys may be Scorpios as well, or attract Scorpios. I mean, we're also in Scorpio season as I'm filming this, but you know, yeah. And so you might meet people when they're sort of at this very life-changing points in their lives, and you may be the catalyst of a lot of growth in a lot of people as well. Ironically, the empty room is filled to the brim with potential, yet we perceive it as not enough. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barren walls of not knowing, for awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. Be with the nothingness. Be with the impatience. The empty room has immense power. Let others wonder what you are doing. That's another thing. You give off a lot of mystery. If you can settle into the magic of emptiness, you will soon hear its whispers of wisdom. You guys have a reputation of being very wise, very mysterious. And like I said, this card came out completely in its light attribute. Here's what the light attributes are: spaciousness, potential, and possibility. You have this reputation of having so much potential to do a lot in this lifetime. People look at you and they're like, that group number 3 can be something really, really big, or can do really huge things in this lifetime. Yeah, you're very magnetic. Some of you guys may have a very piercing gaze. There's something about your eyes. I keep feeling drawn back to the eyes. Something very piercing. It's like you see beyond people. Very intense energy you give off. You definitely intrigue a lot of people when they meet you. You have like a very perceptive energy. It's like you can read people's souls. We have the 7 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you don't let a lot of people in, though. You are the seer. You see people. You see beyond the veil. But you're also very good at not letting other people see into what's going on in your life, in your world, in your reality. Leaving people with this mystery of like, who is group number 3? The High Priestess. See, this is what I'm saying. You guys who select group number 3, like, y'all are my priestesses, my shamans, my fellow tarot readers and mediums and all of that for sure. Absolutely. You may have that reputation already. Some of you guys may even do this professionally. If you're interested in doing it professionally, I highly recommend getting my online tarot reading course, because there's a whole module on starting your own spiritual business, but I digress. We have the 7 of Cups upright. Very dreamy. I'm getting like daydreaming, curiosity. What's going on in the mind of group number 3? We have the Page of Swords. Okay, so not only are you this sort of spiritual powerhouse of mystery and light and awakening, but there's an intelligence here. The way that you speak specifically, like, you may be very well spoken. A lot of you guys may be bilingual, or well read. There's something like an interesting conversationalist. You can have something to contribute in most conversations. And you're very quick, very witty. Okay. Some of you guys may also be known for your sense of humor. We have the Knight of Cups upright. Yeah. A lot of people are romantically attracted to you, for sure. We have the Sun in reverse. Wow. Yeah, you may attract a lot of people in a romantic sense and also like in a friendship sense. But the problem is a lot of people can't keep up with you. So you may be a little bit of a heartbreaker too and have that reputation. Or having like higher standards because you know the worth that you bring to the table. You know what you bring to the table. And it's like, I feel like you're very serious. And it's like if somebody's not going to match your intensity or your serious intentions, then there's no point, you know. But yeah, people really enjoy conversating with you, even if you don't see that or you don't believe that about yourself. There's a sense of talking to you is very interesting. You're very quick with your words, quick with your thoughts, and I just feel like a lot of people can talk to you for hours and hours and hours and hours on end. Intellectually, people feel stimulated by you. You're one of those people where like people feel smarter when they talk to you. And a lot of people may feel drawn into your aura, your essence for that reason. You know, like you're definitely somebody who comes off as intelligent. And you may definitely attract other very intelligent people for that reason. Yeah. You may be emotionally very nostalgic, lovey. You may be like a lover girly or lover boy, and have that reputation as well, which is lovely. Yeah. The thing is though, it's like, you don't really let everyone have access to your energy with the Seven of Wands in reverse, because I feel in the past you may have done that. Like you may have let everyone have a place in your heart or your life, and you may have gotten burnt by that quite a bit. So the people who know you, know that you have that reputation of not being picky choosy enough, but you may have recently healed them and are doing better at that. So congrats if that's the case. Yeah. I feel like you might be the type of person who doesn't say that much in gatherings, but when you do speak, it's always something incredibly intelligent and contributes a lot to the conversation, or just like really funny. Like the things that you do say are wise and impactful. You don't have to yap and yap and yap saying things that aren't important, but it's more so like when you speak, people listen. You have that sort of power, which is really cool. And I definitely just keep picking up this vibe of like so many people want to get to know you more, but it's hard to sort of get a read on you. Group number 3, or it's like hard to pin you down. Some of you guys may have ADHD or like be not aloof, but it's like you might be very lost in your own mind quite a bit. And sometimes you might miss the signs that somebody's like really trying to be your friend or really trying to come onto you, So that may be something that you want to work on, possibly. It just feels like you have a very rich inner world, a very rich mind, and very creative as well. And so people may feel like they have a hard time like sort of penetrating into your life, your world, your circle. For that reason, you may be somebody who really enjoys your alone time, or it's like you're always like thinking about something, working on something, not coming off as like distracted, but coming off as very focused on your own things. And yeah, so I don't know. I think people are intrigued by that, but you're very much a mystery. So you have a mysterious aura about you. Thank you so much for joining me, group number 3. Definitely like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you've not already. Doing those 3 things helps boost this video and this channel to as many people as possible, especially spamming the comments, I've noticed, really helps boost these videos. So go leave all of the positive comments, leave like 100 comments if you feel called to. Very much appreciated. And everything that I offer is linked down below, like my personal readings, life coaching, intention oils, my tarot reading course. It's all down below. Just go check it out. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.